Hey, FG here. Welcome into the Sunday date run video. And we're starting off with the short recap here.
Leaving no trace. Oh, the years fall like rain in the night. Silver echoes in the fading light. From 2020 back to where we've been. I see the story etched in every gleam.
All right, now that we're done with our wrap up, we'll get into today's date run. And you will see that it is shorter, only 3 years. We're going from 1974 back through 1972. And 74 is kind of a big year, so we have a big display out here for some really big coins. These aren't, a few of these are in the silver book. Some of them are in my world box, but not actually technically in the book. And we're going to start with one of those. That is 1974 proof for the Cayman Islands. This is a huge coin. You can see it's actually 1.0557 actual silver weight of sterling silver. Very cool crest there. Got the turtle with the pineapple on it. I don't know if you know this, back in colonial times, pineapples were kind of a sign of hospitality. And I heard this from a tour guide in one of the places, I think maybe Thomas Jefferson's house that we went through back there. And what they do is they'd ship pineapples from the Caribbean up here. And when you had a guest, you put a pineapple in their guest room. And apparently it was good guest manners that you leave before the pineapple goes bad. But anyways, there's our first coin, Cayman Islands. And you can see why I used the large display here. Second coin, also not in the silver book, but in the silver world box, is another very large coin, or Winston Churchill from 1974. And this one was for Turks and Caicos Islands, 20 crowns. They have their pelican up here at the top. They've got some shells and lobster, along with their flamingos. But that is another huge coin. You can see size comparison. It's about the same size. There's no way that would be fitting in the World Silver Book. This one is in the book. It was our entry for Trinidad and Tobago. And you can see it's very similar with the birds on each side, but a little bit different. We got the 3 ships there on the shield. Have a cool ship's tiller up here. There we go for Trinidad and Tobago. Then we have our 1974 entry into the book for Poland. This is a 1-year commemorative. We have our revealed not so long ago 1974 commemorative for Haiti. It actually is celebrating a battle at Savannah for the U.S. Civil War or bicentennial Revolutionary War. Sorry. So this was going to be celebrating 1976. It was released in 1974, though. Oh, this was an excellent coin. I really like that one. And we have an entry, one of our 2 coins in the books for the Bahamas, 1974. This is an interesting coin. When I got this coin, it was seriously impaired. And what you're seeing is the results of a dip. And it came out really nice. In one of my really old shorts, I actually show the before and after of that one if you're interested in seeing what the before looked like. And then the last item I have for 1974, actually I just showed in my vintage round video, and that is this World Trade unit from the Silver Bullion Exchange from 1974. Oh, it was this way. Very cool round. And that's all for 74. So for 73, we start into it with another coin from the Silver Book. It's our entry for Israel. Put that one in the back here. And then we have 3 art bars. 73 was a very big year for art bars. And this is one of the few USSC bars I have. And it is that Eiffel Tower. And it's the one that I bought specifically because of this toning that was on it. I fell in love with this toning. It kind of makes it look like, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be on the bar, but to me it makes it look like a dark and stormy night with lightning coming down. I love that toning. And then for the other 2 art bars, they are both renditions of the Spirit of 76, which I've talked about before. So we saw the Spirit of 76 round in 1976, but these 2, one is Patrick Mint. This one is USC, United States Coinage Corp. But these were released in 73 in anticipation of celebrating in 1976. And that's it for 73. We'll back up one more year to 1972. We've seen this one in my silver book for Germany. This is one of the ones that I have in the book. And then one that's not in the book that I just have in my World Silver box now is this one from 72, another 10 mark. This one's looking at the Olympic Pavilion for the games in 1972. And this is another coin from the book, and it's another one for the Bahamas. So much like we had this 50-cent piece for 74, this is the second coin for Bahamas that we have in there. It's kind of an iconic coin. Lots of people with coins from Bahamas have this one with the 2 flamingos, sunset or sunrise. And my final piece, It's going to be the last piece of dated vintage silver that I have in round form, and that's this from 1972. This is my oldest dated vintage silver rounds that aren't coins. But it's this Universario coin that is another one of the world trade units. There we go. That is our years from 74 back through 72. And 74 was a huge year. You can see 73 and 72 both had 4 apiece. I think I may have 4 or 5 going back into 70s, but we're actually just to the first place where I have a hole in my collection. I need a 1971, and I'm waiting for it to come in. I have found it, I have bought it, I just haven't received it yet. So next week we'll get that. I assume it'll be here by then. We'll do an opening to see 71. I know I have some 70s and back into the 60s. So we'll see how many of those we get out here onto the table next week. Well, let me know what your favorite piece is. Mine are obviously going to be these two Spirit of 76 bars. I am keeping my eye out and buying those when I can find them. That is one of the things that I kind of pay up for in order to get for my collection. I have one coming in. I'm waiting on it to arrive also. So we'll take a look at that when it does get here. But let me know in here what your favorite is. Like maybe the Haiti coin or those huge British territory coins. Well, thank you for joining me on your Sunday morning. As always, I appreciate your subs, your comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.